Okay, let's look at using an item to simulate a feat-like ability. We're going to open our standard module that we've been using. And with this request, we have been provided some code to start with. Now I believe this to be an activate item script. That goes here. Let's see. Looks like it. Okay. On one hand, I want to get rid of a lot of these comments because they're bloating when I'm looking at, but I don't want to get rid of them if they're helpful for whoever needs this. I guess I can go ahead and put them back in a separate file for anybody who needs them. But I'm going to get rid of the ones that break up the code because I'm not used to this code yet, so I want to make sure that I can read what I'm looking at. Bear with me for a little bit. Activates where we're going to be spending most of our time. Okay. Fix up tabs a little bit. Ooh. Try my best to get this looking easier to read. Yeah, the way, since this code was pasted into what it looks like an existing script, it would keep, because this I'm tool set, why do you do this? Okay, because I believe this looks like a template file, and this from here down looks almost exactly like the Champion of Torm code for Divine Wrath. So I'm pretty sure it was just pasted right in, which won't auto set the tab lines to the right depth. The case statements looking the way I like them to look. No, they don't necessarily have to look like this, but I like how they look like this. Okay, something's not quite tabbed correctly. Looks like it might be the whole case statement. It looks normal now. Maybe I was seeing things. Okay. Those comments don't use new lines, so I'm going to leave them how they are. Okay. So now let's get into the actual meat of the code. The duration will be 25 plus your charisma modifier plus your blackguard levels. I'm going to, oops, why does insert on? I'm going to assume that this is correct. The way, I'm going to try to leave the majority of the actual functional code alone. Bear with me a little bit, I'm just reading at the moment. I did not walk into this one with any sort of plan. I haven't done something, I haven't utilized a similar system for my own projects before like this, so I'm feeling my way through this. This is going to be one of the videos where I just kind of wing it. This is solely for my own OCD. Okay, let's see. Okay, that looks good. So one thing I'm seeing is supernatural effect being used a lot. Is Divine Wrath supernatural? Yes, it is. Okay, so wait, this applies to the link. Okay, yeah. Yeah, okay, just making sure. Okay, let's step through. We got 25 plus your blackguard and charisma modifiers. This ultimately leads to rounds. That seems like a lot. Your charisma modifier typically. Okay, so this is a lot more powerful than Divine Wrath for the duration. Gotcha, gotcha. Okay. And this is, let's see, on item activate. So this is any item activated, I believe, at the moment. Let's find out. Let's make our item. So we'll start off by making an item. I personally like miscellaneous small for things like this. We'll just call it class black. I believe that's what I was told the ability's called. Okay. Which one do I like? Heart's kind of cool. I think I'll go with the crow. That could be cool. cool. Okay. So first thing we're going to do is we're just going to put a unique power on this, which is, what's it called? Is it called activate item? No, it'd be unique power self only, I imagine. That hardly matters if I make it undroppable. It's not for me. Okay. So I'm gonna drop it. Where's my? Why is that not rendering? Okay, I'm gonna move all these off to the side because I don't think I'm using these for a while. Okay, and you're gonna prevent me from resting, so you can go over there. Just realized I don't think I have a blackguard character to test this with. I didn't spawn the item on the floor, did I? Okay. I did not. Drop this on the floor. You know what? Don't I have something for this? I do. Test item 1 and 2. I don't remember what those are. But I can just make another one. I'll leave these off for now. I'm gonna do these. Okay. I can't believe I did that to myself. Okay. Oh, I don't need this open anymore. Okay. So now I've got the item. So this should apply the benefits regardless. Unless I don't qualify because I'm not a blackguard, which is most likely what happened there. Let me make a blackguard character. Oh my goodness. I have too many portraits. Embarrassing. I don't know what you need to be a blackguard. You need to be evil, 6 attack, 5 ranks and hide and cleave. Okay. Ugh. Not keeping this character. Probably don't need wisdom at all. 13 dex. What do you need for cleave? 13 in strength, I think. 13 dex is for dodge. Don't need dodge. Yeah, whatever. That's probably good enough. Let's do hide. Oh. That might be a problem. Alright, where's power attack? Cleave. Okay. Okay. Ugh. Greatly. And now I can be a blackguard. Oh, right. It goes up here now. Okay. So does this work yet? Probably not, because I'm not 5. I believe I was told you need to be level 5 blackguard to use this. So we've got our character though. Let's take a look. I'm actually going to read the code this time. Okay. Level is less than or equal to 0. Your bonus is 0. Otherwise, you get level bonus is blackguard over 5. Okay. So if you have, so at 5 you get your first one. If this is greater than 5, which would mean the highest you can be is 30. 30 over 5 would be 6. So if you're at 30, you get that. Otherwise, you get 25 to 29. Writing these down for my own sake. This will be 15 to 19. If it's greater than 1. Be 10 to 14, and then as long as it's greater than 0, it's 5 to 9. Damage bonus 5 damage, I assume. No reduction, I imagine. Okay. So Viz 2 is what? Dark red aura. But I'm not seeing an early return, so it sounds like you should get this as long as you have a duration. That's not triggering the event at all. Unactivate item. Okay. PC. Switching the event. Activate. So is to see as well. What the event number is. Event is 4, so that's different. We were getting 0 before, or we're supposed to be getting 0. So what's 4? Acquire. What? What? What does this do? Oops, I probably should have closed that. This one's not going to work right. Gotta relaunch it. Okay. Interesting, interesting. Now what if I unacquire it? If I acquire it. Right, because it only does the activate event. Oh, you know what's happening? I know what's happening. Okay. Okay. So since this is already the activate item code script, the old function, what's it called? Get user defined item event number is supposed to be run on tag-based scripts. So, for example, if I made a, let's just do that actually. No, because I got rid of the old code that has that information that I need. Essentially, what you have, there's a switch in the default version of this script that says if you have tag-based scripting enabled, it will cause a script to run with the name of the tag of your item every time any kind of event is triggered with that item. So if you pick it up, it runs that. If you drop it, it runs it. If you activate it, it runs that. If you cast a spell, whatever. All of these right here. And essentially what's happening is, since when I activate this item with this, it's treating it as if the last event that happened with this, which I guess, since this is before the actual, I don't know why it's confused, but it's getting the last one, which was when I acquired it from the other script. The enter script spawns it on me, which triggers the on acquire event, and this is retrieving where I acquired it. It's getting the last one. So I still don't know why it's not getting the activate one, but it doesn't matter. Since we're in the correct script already, we don't need to figure out what event it is. This is the activate script. Perhaps I should have put this on an item event. or I mean a tag-based script. Let's do that. Let's do both ways. Let's open a new module. Yes, I would like to save changes. Okay. Unactivate item. So here's the bit of code I was talking about. This module switch, I need this. We'll take the code as well. No. Okay. So, you save this. This is all good. I'm going to take all of this and move it into a, oops, I probably shouldn't have closed that, a new script and call it item class black instead, and then I will uncomment this. Sorry if this is a bit confusing. I didn't think it all the way through. The other one looked like it was supposed to be this script. Okay. Oh, this is why. Because it sets the event here, and since this is gone, that's why it was never picking up the activate. Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. So I can go into here, module properties, into our advanced tab, and I can paste in this as true, which I would imagine most servers that use this already have this, and the ones that don't. Duh, right? Okay. Let's try this again. But I want to come back and I want to look, make sure I modified it back to the way it was. Item event number. So now we should get a notification twice, once for acquire. Yep. And then on activate. Gotcha. Okay. So one thing that that you're going to want to watch out for with this code is if you de-level and you still have this item, if you don't take this item away on de-level, blackguards that get it, that do not meet the requirement, oh, I didn't save my level, or it's no longer, no, the next one, the next version of this character is marked with a 1, so it comes after. I'll have to delete that. You want to make sure that you remove this item when you de-level, that way you can't activate it for whatever bonuses these are. Probably 0. No, that's a decent bonus. Oh my goodness. Oh, right. Yeah, because they're supernatural effects. You don't lose these when resting either. Something to consider. Oh, I just didn't save them. That's right. Okay. I guess I will be remaking that. Whoops. Okay. Okay. Coming back to this. I don't need these anymore. I know why it's working and why it's not working. Okay. So the duration, no matter what, is 25 plus charisma plus your blackguard level. quite high, but it is what it is. Benefits. So why did I get a bonus regardless? So if level B is less than or equal to 0, which is this guy here, level B is 0. Otherwise, attack B. Oh, so you still get the base 3 and 5 regardless. Okay. So regardless of being level 5 or not, if you have this item, I don't know if you're supposed to have this item, I probably should have got that information beforehand, but if you have this item before level 5 and you activate it, you still get a 3 to attack bonus and 5 to saves. So you still get everything. You still get 5 to damage as well, right? Yeah, you still get 5 damage. You still get +1 soak 5. So I don't know if this is supposed to be like this, but say you want to only do this, you only want to give the bonuses to level 5s and higher. I would just replace this with just a return. Nothing else needs to be here. Like, gone. However, just in case, I will leave it the way it was. Ugh, tool set, why? Now I can't get it back the way it was. I think that's how it was. Okay. So we're going to go with the assumption that these issues with this will be taken care of, or if they're not issues, it doesn't matter anyway. Viz 2 and Viz, what's Viz? The head pop up, little red head pop up, and then the big explosion. Okay. And those are instantaneous, yes, and then you have a temporary Viz 2, which Viz 2's here. That's it's only used in 2 places, and it's just matching the same duration. So what I would do with this is instead add it to your link. That way, if for some reason you want to remove it either by a DM or something, you don't have to remove it separately. It'll just be taken care of when the other ones disappear. Does the damage reduction have a cap on this? No, there's no limit. Okay. That was another thing I was going to warn about. If your damage reduction is tied to a limit, when it exceeds the limit, it'll disappear and take everything linked with it, which is why stone skin, when it runs out, the stone goes away. So just making sure that you don't lose all your buffs when you run out of DR. Not super familiar with Champion of Torm and the Blackguard. Okay. So now that we've got this, can use this ability twice per day, but possibly more with more levels, and those levels you get them at, let's see, you get a third use, at 15 and another at 20. 25 and 30 does not appear, at least in the instructions, to give additional uses. So, let's start with activating this item. So instead of using 4 or 5 or even 6 different items that have different number of uses, we could just utilize the unlimited uses per day and then have it warn you when you're running out of charges. And when you activate it when you're out of charges, it just does nothing. That way you don't need to recreate more items. You don't need to take and remove when you level up, or when you de-level, you don't have to worry about removing them. Unless, of course, you drop below your final level of qualifying Blackguard. You'll still want to watch out for that. Say, if you're not supposed to have this at level 4 Blackguard, when you drop from 5 to 4, you'll want to make sure that you take this away. Or if you're supposed to get it right when you become a Blackguard, you're going to want to take this away when you de-level to the point where you don't have your first Blackguard level anymore. So I will leave that up to the discretion of whoever wants to utilize this. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add charges. So, what is the Blackguard feat number, or what's it called? It's the Champion of Torm. Divine Might, or Wrath, Divine Wrath, there we go, 909, okay. So we don't want to use 909 because Divine Wrath already is 909, but we could modify it so that we know it's referring to the Blackguard version, but we also don't want it to clash with other feats. So we could say the value will be 909, 99, something like that. And I want to make sure that, because I'm going to make it the same as we used on this one, I want to use the same syntax. 909 bonus uses. So, where did I put those? We'll do, add a new line here for class black. This could go into any include file that you use for your feats, or you could just drop this line straight into your code. I'm going to put it here for now and leave it commented out so it doesn't clash with the other one. But I'm going to leave it here in this in case I ever just release this module for anybody who wants everything. I'll leave it in here. For whoever wants it. But when I post this on the paste bin with this video, I'm not going to include the include file. It's just going to have this guy uncommented. I'll be sure to make sure that it compiles, don't worry. Okay, so what did I do for this one? I just said so we're going to want to get our bonus uses. I'm trying to copy this whole bit actually. Okay. We'll leave this off to make sure that I can just look at this bit. Let's see. Okay. So your bonus uses, instead of Divine Wrath, we'll use whatever I called it, class black variable. Oops. And we are not incrementing the remaining feet uses anymore because it is no longer a feat, it's an item. So I'll just put that as a placeholder for what used to be there, because I'm going to need to remind myself to come back and make sure that we're tracking uses. What's target? So in Divine Wrath, I'm using target. Is that just the object self? Okay, right. So in this case, we're going to want to use the PC, which is the activator. Okay. Then we have our bonus uses. So instead of bonus uses, what we want to do is used uses. So the reason we want to do this is, let's say you have 6 remaining uses. If I use bonus uses instead, we just say, oh, you're level 30, you get 6 uses. If I de-level, this variable doesn't update itself. So I could be level 5 with still 6 uses. Granted, it's only for that one rest or whatever, but it's there all the same. So what I could do instead is consumed uses, or used uses. It kind of sounds weird, but used uses. And that way I could say, oh, I've used 3 this rest. And if I'm level 30, as long as my used uses is less than how many are available, say 6. That's not 6, what is it? It's 4. If I have, I was doing divided by 5 earlier, it's supposed to be 4 remaining uses, but the point still stands. You would want this to be less than the allowed uses. So 3 is less than 4, you can use the ability. But if you de-level back down to 5 and you've used 3 this rest, 3 before you've de-leveled, 3 is greater than your 1 allocated use, so you can't use it. And that works for if you de-level or not. So that's a safer bet. So we're going to do that instead. And that way we also don't need to worry about how many remaining feats are on the item. You don't have to say, oh, there's 5 uses remaining, 4 uses remaining on different item properties. You don't need to keep swapping the properties or deleting and recreating items. You can just use one item, unlimited uses, and it'll just tell you how many you have every time you activate it. So let's do that. So I'm going to change this to used uses. And you know what? Good point. I'm going to rename it here as well. Save that and drop that here as well. Okay. Replace all those where used. Oh, target doesn't exist. Real quick, just to make sure that everything still compiles. Man, I'm bad at spotting these today. Okay, everything's good. So now let's start with used uses. So we're going to get how many we've used so far, which by default should be 0. So if it is less than the allowed uses, so we'll want a variable for that, which we'll define this later. We'll just real quick write, we'll say 2. I mean, I could even leave that in because 2 is the default, I believe. Let me double check. Yeah, you get 2 uses, and you get another one at 15, another one at 20. So we'll use that too. Use uses is your variable, which should be 0 by default. 0 is less than 2. You will want to. You probably would want to say something along the lines of activating your ability, but you have a certain number of uses remaining, which would be your allowed minus your used plus 1. Let's try that first, and then here's where you increment the used ones. You will set your value to that, like that. It takes care of that. And otherwise, we're going to need a separate code block for this one, I believe, because if you don't, since the other one's at the end of the script, you use it and it already tells you you have none remaining or whatever. Ooh. I wouldn't need this at all. Well, yeah, I would want it to say something else. Actually, that would probably work. So when you hit one use, right, out of 2, it'll let you into here. Your 1 will become 2. And it'll be 2 minus 2. You have 0 ability usage remaining. So it'll tell you you have 0 left. Otherwise, if it is 2, 2 is not less, then you'll jump into here and you'll want to say you can't use this anymore. And you'll want to back out. So you'll want to jump out of the code, don't let you go any further. I'm okay with moving this up now, back into place. And we'll want to have bonus uses. So if, where do we get our level? Right here. I'm going to move this up here. So if in level is greater than or equal to, what did it say again? 15. If you're greater than or equal to 20, because 20 is greater than 15. If I say 15 first, it won't work. Yeah. Actually, I don't need those. So this says you have 2 base uses. Plus 2 uses if 20 plus. Plus 1 uses if 15 plus. All right. Try. You have 1 remaining. You have 0 ability uses remaining. Now it doesn't do anything. One thing we could do with this say take this. Int r, what's it called? R remaining is equal to allowed minus. And then we can put here our remaining equals 1. Then like that. Why does that not work? Does this all need to be wrapped in another parenthesis? Yes, it does. Gotcha. Okay. Okay. You have one ability use remaining. You have 0 ability uses remaining. Just bothers my OCD. Plus it looks better for the end user as well. Okay. So for those who don't know, this is what's called a ternary expression. Essentially, you are defining a condition here, and if this evaluates to true after the question mark, this is what is put in place if true, and this is what is put in place if false. So for example, if remaining uses is exactly one remaining use, you don't include an S. If it's not 1, so if it's 2, 3, or 0, you include an S. There's 0 uses remaining, there's 2 uses remaining, there's only 1 use remaining. Alternatively, you could just use like one of these, but yeah. Okay, what else did I need to do? You probably want to be able to restore these uses, so let's go to our REST script. We already have a function, restore feat uses. Let's go find that, restore feat uses. Okay. If Git has, maybe I will include this since it will involve this as well. So this will restore class black uses, and instead of get has feat, you want to do get level by class, class type blackguard, and on the PC. Restore class black. Oh, I guess I already went over ternaries probably. I don't remember. Okay, I'm gonna copy this because it's got less crap. Restore class black uses, and this will be oh, I don't even need to figure. Oh, the advantage of this is I don't even need to figure it out how many uses you need, because all I gotta do is set you back to 0. Beautiful. And then this restores class black uses, which it probably can't pick it up because it's under it, which means we need one of these for it. That way we know to look for it below. Okay, that's normal. This was unchanged, so if you're still using this the same way as before, it'll be fine. Class black. Okay. Everything compiles. Let's do a quick test. Let's see. I don't know how many levels I need. 30 will probably be enough. attack, and I need cleave. I think I still have those. Whatever. Recommended. Recommended's the way to go. That is solid advice. Always, always, always hit recommended for every single ability, even on your most serious characters. I'm kidding, don't actually do that. Okay, I need 5 ranks in hide. Blackguard, levels. Okay, so at the moment this shouldn't work if I understand it correctly, but the code should still allow me to use it with 1 ability use remaining. 0 ability uses remaining, okay. Level up pauses resting. Oh, that's so annoying. Improve critical for light flail. Now what am I doing? I should have done class block uses have been restored. Oops. Did they though? Ooh, look at that, they did. I'll rest again. Okay, I'm gonna let this finish because now I'm at 5. The level where you should get a higher benefit. I'm at 18 now. So if I use it, it should be 20? Yeah, and you don't get an extra use till 15, so everything's still checking out for now. I'll prove power attack. No better choice. Okay. Oh, it's 15. 15 you get it. Point blank. Oh, right, it was doing fire levels, right. Oh, wait, now it's trying to do fire levels again. I forgot you're limited to 10. Okay. Epic longsword, let's go. Prowess, an actually good choice for once. I don't know if that did charisma. Okay, here at 15. Oops, I don't need to re-rest. It doesn't matter. You have 2 uses remaining. Oh, that's another thing. If you level up, your used uses obviously stays the same. So if you level from 14 to 15, when you didn't have a use remaining and you now have access to an additional use, you can actually use that use. So 2 uses, 1 use, 0 uses. Wait, what was that? Never played a Blackguard before. Never seen these. These feats don't actually exist. Okay. I'll actually do a quick demonstration of that as well here. Since I'm about to get an additional use, it actually should say the same thing twice. I have 2 left because I normally have 3. When I level up, I'll be able to use it 4 times, which means if I use it again, I've already used it once. It should actually say I still have 2 again. Yep, because now I have 4. So if I rest all the way, when I use it, it should say I still have 3 remaining, for a total of 4 total uses. Okay. One other thing. So now everything looks like everything works. It's all good. I just want to change this for my own. I don't like the 0 there. So I'm going to see if I can just swap it. I forgot to save my fucking character again. Alright, I'm not doing another testing. I'm sorry. I'm not going to level up another character. But I will do this. Ooh. Here it comes, another ternary. This is absolutely disgusting. I shouldn't do that. Should I do that? No, I'm not gonna do that. I'll be a sane person. I will be a completely sane person and do it like this instead. I just want you to know I would do it the other way in my own code. Okay. Why is it false? So this is chat window. Yeah, that doesn't need one. Well, depends on how much spam you want. Because it's up here and not, so this would be one that would be worth seeing because you've used your last use. Where it's down here is when you're using it after you've already expended them all. You don't need to see all the spam. So I will take it off of this one. Let's try this out one more time. But I'm not going to make another character. Because I'm an idiot and I keep forgetting to save it. One ability use remaining. Should appear in the log. You have no more remaining. I like that better than 0 personally. And then we don't see it, but we see it above our character. Okay. I would say that pretty much covers what I wanted to cover on this. Restoring your feat uses to an item where you don't need to necessarily have several different items, each with different number of uses. Because I believe the way the question was framed is you could replace the property with one of these, a different one. You could do that if you want to be able to see how many you have remaining, like at a glance. But you'd have to remember to swap the properties when you level up and when you unlevel up. You'd also want to make sure that your total number has to be under 5 unless you add more talk lines and 2DA lines to add more of these. You could kind of do it by giving it a 1 charge per use and giving it a number of uses plus 1. So when you would use your second to last one, it would not let you use it. Or no, that still wouldn't work. You could just destroy it anyway. And this is probably the best way to do it. Just leave it as unlimited and store how many you've used since your last rest on your character. When you rest, set it back to 0 or clear it. And one thing, one thing you could do, if you want to be able to tell how many you have at a glance, you could change the name of the item each time. I don't know exactly how that would look. in game, but I could try it out real quick. I'll be honest, I'm probably gonna leave it out. You could copy the code from the video, but I'm probably gonna leave that out of the paste bin, but we'll see what happens here. Well, then your default one. No, I don't like that at all. This is gonna look pretty bad. Get name. Make sure you get the base name. Probably want to do your used uses instead. Oops, what did I mess up? And then you could take this to your feet restore. Just do that. Actually, I don't even think you need this. I think you could just Uh-oh, what did I do? I broke something. Oh, right. Oh, item. Shit. Well, now you need to get the item. Yeah, see, I don't like this at all. This is exactly why. First of all, that needs to be all caps. Class black. There's your used it once, used it twice. Shouldn't go up anymore. Should stay at 2. When you rest, it should go back to, well, it shouldn't say 0. It should just go back to be, should have been called class black. I mean, you could change it to be 0, but oh, you don't say. Maybe I got the tag wrong. I don't think I did. What if I try it the other way? The way I had it before. this at all. I mean, worst case, if you really wanted to, you could just something like that. At this point, if this doesn't work, I want to know if it's just not getting it or not. And if it's not, I can't be bothered. Yeah, I don't think it's finding the item. I don't know why it's not getting the item, but who cares? That would be so. This is already so much extra to the point where it really doesn't add that much to just remember how many times you've used it, or if you do use it and you're out, it just tells you you're out. Okay. Well, I think that about covers it. I think that's a good stopping point because I don't really know where else to go with this. I'm gonna leave the code with the with it working for levels 1 through 5. But I could change it if necessary. If somebody wants me to, I could just make a new paste bin for it. Maybe I'll do both. Who knows? We'll see. The description will tell you if there's multiple versions of it or not. All right. That does it for me. Have a good one, everybody.